Unveiling the beast, exploring Tesla's Cybertruck. Any design usually has its lovers and haters. Remember the Apple AirPods? But more often than not, they either become a commercial hit after becoming an icon, or they become a source of study for the future to learn how not to design something. The Tesla Cybertruck's design seems to many, including me at the beginning, as something that was picked up right out of a kid's sketchbook. But I think we can all agree that Elon Musk must have had some thinking behind this radical design. I've tried to bring about various aspects that influence the Cybertruck's design through some facts in my opinions. Pickup trucks over the years. To begin with, this is the graphic of Ford F-Series pickup trucks over the last 10 decades. I think it is pretty clear that the design of pickup trucks have not had a design refresh in that 100 years. Yes, 100 years. That's quite sad. Besides additions of slight curves or add-ons, aided by advancements in other fields, there hasn't been a significant design refresh for a really long time. Note that Ford F-Series pickups have been the industry leaders for a really long time, and most competitors look the. I'd be very surprised if someone saw a difference in their design from a single glance. This similar, bulky-looking design is resonated across other competitors as well. Moreover, the variation in their tech is marginal and can often be upgraded either with the company or in the aftermarket. This design monotony has led consumers over time become loyal to a brand rather than a look because there's never much of a design change. As Marks Brownlee, MKBHD, had mentioned in his video on why he ordered the Cybertruck, most people who owned a Ford F-150 pickup truck just went on to buy the F-150 again 5 years later and remained in the same loop forever. There's not a strong necessity to switch to another brand, and the above image demonstrates it pretty clearly, I think. Bring in the constraints. Now, let's assume, being Tesla, you're about to break into an 81 billion USD pickup truck market, which is filled with very similar looking vehicles. I think the answer is pretty clear. You need to bring in a car that looks like no other. That would be the first of many constraints that Tesla needs to work with. Besides that, a few of them would have been. Quantities don't match the number of Fords/Chevys manufactured, so cost of manufacturing should be low. Features should be equal and more than the competitors. Materials should be chosen as to ensure it can handle a good beating and can last for a long time. With these criteria, and Elon Musk's love for radical thinking, Tesla chose to lean into an extremely crazy design, and the best part, they chose to embrace it. Below is a demonstration of the same. However, beyond the communication itself, the car's design is something that has turned the eyes of so many, some with love and some with heavy distaste. Digging into the constraints, Tesla made some choices. They rethought the design of the vehicle right from the fundamentals, and made some calls which led to this design. First call, material and frame. The choice of material was ultra-hard 30X cold-rolled stainless steel in its bare form for the structure, and they decided to design the car with an exoskeleton rather than the traditional body-on-frame. In other words, the exoskeleton means that the body and the frame are one and the same, unlike the body-on-frame, where the body is a separate piece that is mounted on a frame. One of the most significant advantages of this kind of frame structure is availability of space, which can be used to store the battery packs and other equipment. The advantages of this material is that it avoids dense and long-term corrosion. The many advantages of this frame design is lesser manufacturing, lesser assembly, and no paint jobs. This automatically makes the process a little greener, which is definitely more brownie points for Tesla. Second call, design of the body. The body's design was, in my opinion, heavily driven by two important factors: a dire need to be different and a dire need to be cost-efficient in manufacturing. These two constraints automatically lead to a simple solution: a radical design that can be manufactured cheaply. The simple plate-like design, where the material can be stamped using machine, is a great bonus in saving costs. Also, as confirmed by Elon Musk in one of his tweets, the ultra-hard 30X steel is extremely hard to press, let alone bend. Talk about unexpected advantages. Even bending it requires a deep score, making the whole process arduous. But that also means, to ensure that the planar areas don't buckle under compression, they have to be thicker. Thus, this will add to the overall weight. The need to counter this weight is what has led to that pointy top end of the car, which seems to be freaking out everybody. In physics, while learning about structures and force distributions, one of the most common things we learn is that triangles are fantastic weight, load and tension distributors across any system. This is the fundamental principle behind this design too. The top pointy end is one corner of the triangle, and one side of the triangle is the windshield segment, the other being the one that leads to the rear end, and the other side being the base of the truck itself. The most common application of the triangular distribution of forces around us in the physical world at a large scale are truss bridges, which are very common around us. Examples. By this part of the design, I am sure, Tesla had already arrived at a very crazy design, and I am sure they must have sat at a round table and said, "Let's take it all the way, boys." Here is a render, which I found on Reddit, shared by u/OVMe rules if the Cybertruck had been designed like the other pickups. Third call, embrace the design fully. At this point, I believe there are two striking features that give the car its completely outworldly look. Simple single-bar headlight that is quite like no other car on the market. This crazy cover for the rear can roll itself over inside and pretend like it was never there. Besides these calls, there were a bunch of fantastic designs they've paid attention to which are just truly lovely. I will mention a few of them below. Taillights even when opened. Spaces and grooves for hooks and ropes. Not demonstrated in the picture, but even the addition of a charging port at the rear. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.